first guest, and it's Mr. Brian Daigle. How's it going, Brian?
Zippity doodah, whoop-de goddamn do.
Yeah.
The birds are singing, the sky is blue, the grass is green, and here we go again. And I'm going to start.
Brian.
I'm just talk to you. What can I say? Listen, I've said this quote many a time, and I'm going to start it, and I'm going to end the show with it again. The second those footballers, if you want to call them that right now, cross that white line, the result and style of and performance and style of play has absolutely nothing to do with Daniel Levy. However, the very fact that they can wear our beloved white jersey, the very fact they can cross that white line, and the very fact that these performances continue to happen has absolutely everything to do with Daniel Levy. This keeps happening time and time again. And I tweet, I don't know what the excuse is going to be this time. The players, the manager, the weather, the fact that we had the late kickoff, the fact that it was on Sky and not BT. It will be every single excuse apart from the one person that sits there motionless every single time. It is this man that is doing it over and over again. And I keep saying as well about we've got to stop being sentimental with players. And if these players, when we got Bale back, the second coming of Bale, woohoo. And when these players, HUGO LLORIS needs to be dropped. 10 years, wonderful servant. Shot stopping, second to none. When we signed him, the evolution of football was the sweeper keeper. And he was fucking brilliant at it. Absolutely incredible. This man cannot play from the back. He is at fault for the first goal. He should have just launched that into row Z. Eric Dyer's also at fault because rather than running back to the back line, he's standing there doing YMCA trying to get the referee's attention when he should be running back to that goal line. The second goal is HUGO LLORIS' fault for his shit distribution once again. The defence, mate, this team is in a bigger mess than we think. And like we were saying, with this money, like you said, the window is a failure. Yes, we got in a few good players. We're questioning Basuma right now. But once again, and like you said, Ben, when it comes to, and I said it on the Irish Hotspur when I was doing the watch along, I will give Conte all the patience he needs. And it may not be done over 1 window, 2 window, 3 window. But at least get the players in the positions that we are crying out for. Don't go scattergun and buying players left. You bring in Richarlison, who plays on the left or the centre of an attack. And then because of injuries and whatever, or we want to rest Kulu or drop Kulu, whatever buzzword you want to use, we're going to put Richarlison on the right, which he doesn't do. He doesn't do it. We play Emerson, who actually today didn't play too bad, in all honesty. He did not play too bad. He's a right back, not a right wing back. But we'll carry on playing him, even though there's 2 right backs. This scattergun approach to transfers and missing fundamental areas that need strengthening, again, the board. The only positives I'm taking from this game is at Old Trafford that you were both at, there were 10 players that didn't turn up and were embarrassing and let us down big time. Well, today, only 8 players let us down. Only 3 turned up.
Who are those 3?
And that's Emerson, Bentancur, and Kane. Because Kane, his passing today was back on. The rest of them, again, hangs your heads in fucking shame.
What did you make out of the return for Ollie Skip today?
I was delighted to see him. And listen, the other thing with this football club is we all keep saying, yes, we need to get off to a fast start. We get off to a fast start and then we just drop dead after 12 and a half, 20 minutes and just let this stuff happen. But it's okay. We got off to a fast start. Ollie Skip,
says a lot about the... Go on. Sorry, Brian.
No, I was about to say, Ben, Ollie Skip came on and started off brightly and he did play well. And Kane and him had a bit of an understanding going forward. It's his first full game back since this injury and he's got to ease himself in. So for 65 minutes or however long it was, I think he gave a fairly good account of himself. Started brightly, but faded. But the midfield, it's just been a joke. It's just been a joke. And you were about to say something, Ben. Sorry, brother.
I can't remember what I was about to say now, but
You were going to say Levy out.
No, I wasn't. But no, I mean,
Go on.
after these two games, obviously very shocking displays against Manchester United and again today. Conte's talking about the need, if we did have only one game a week, this team could actually fight for something important. But because we don't, we can't really achieve what we want to achieve this season. So where do we go from here, and what can we actually do this season? If Conte's saying that.
What? First of all, it's quite worrying that your manager is saying that. You've qualified for the Champions League and there's cup games. Even if you're not in Europe, you play the odd game during midweek. There's never a league where you just play once a week. So that's quite concerning to come out from Conte. But that is, again, another shot on the board saying, well, what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
What do you want me to do? You want Champions League football regularly to bring in finances, to bring in sponsorships, to bring in a better caliber of player. Well, if you do that, you're going to be playing more than one game a week.
Yeah.
What more can you say to that? You are going to be playing even if you're not in the Champions League, you're in the Europa League or the Conference League. You're still playing more than one game a week.
Yeah, but at least in those games, in the early stages of those games, you can actually rest players where you can't really do that in the Champions League.
No, mate, you can't. But we thought we beefed up this squad and we had the summer that we did, so there could be rotation or whatever buzzword you want to use. Dropped, rested. That's what. These are what these big teams do. Look at Man City. Look at all these other than yes, people are going to go, oh, they've got oil money, they've got this. You're right, but they've got players in and they rotate to keep their players fresh for the big games. We cannot say we have used this squad for rotation purposes very well, no matter what way you want to look at that. And that is on Conte. That is on Conte. But we just look so. We just look so down. We're bereft of ideas. We don't know what to do. Our heads are dropping. The mentality at this club is just like, oh, we've let a goal in. Okay, let's just stop.
I mean, I thought we looked good today up until Newcastle scored that goal, and then you just saw the heads drop from there, didn't you?
Yeah, and how is that acceptable?
It's not.
We know Conte is going in there and probably lighting a fucking firework up their asses. And even that's not not doing its job. And you know what you said as well, Ben, when you said today we dominated, we had more possession and we had more attempts on goal.
We didn't have more possession, I don't think.
We did.
Okay.
We did.
We did. We had 52% versus 48 and 17 versus their 13 shots.
This is how weird it is. We do better when we're being dominated on.
Yeah.
So when we do have the possession and the firepower to do things, we don't. But then when we're getting battered and soaking up the pressure and having less shots, we do something.
Yeah.
I don't understand what is going on at this club. And like I said, everyone knows who I blame. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. But this is deeper than just this prick, than this parasite. There is there's issues at this club. There's issues at this club.
What are those issues?
Well, mate, you look at it. When we got Champions League football and we finally clinched it, we all put down, Ben, you came down the goddamn aisle to it, the Champions League music. We're all tweeting, oh my God, we get to hear this music again. You think that you see how pumped up and excited we get as fans of hearing that wonderful music, of being in this elite competition. These players walk out to it. And they want to be in this competition. They get there, and that's not enough motivation for them. Whether it be the Sporting Lisbon game, whether it be away at Frankfurt, whether it be... They're now in the Premier League, and we've had the best start that we've had point-wise and everything. You think this would be motivation for them to continue driving forward and keep churning out results? But when we let in a goal, we let our heads down. Oh no!
Yeah, I mean, I get that, Brian. But we haven't done that all season. Whenever we've conceded, let our heads drop. I mean, we've had a very difficult week in terms of going to Man United and Newcastle coming to Spurs, who have the best defensive record in the league, and obviously they're going really well at the moment. But you know, we are still third in the league. We are top of our Champions League group. So is there not some positive out of this season already?
Yeah, but again, Ben, you say we're third in the league, and now people will start saying, like I saw people saying this week on Twitter, but if we beat Bournemouth and if we beat this and we beat this, we'll be in a real good shot. We keep taking things for granted, thinking these things are going to happen. If we'd won this game, if we got even a point against United, this top 4 race that we're going to be in, these are points we're picking up. Once again, teams have dropped points around us. That's the time you go, right, this is the time to capitalise. This is the time to get more of extend our lead against the clubs below us and push and put pressure on the teams above us, and we can't handle it. But then we go, don't worry, it's Bournemouth away next week. We should be able to beat Bournemouth. But Bournemouth have done very, very well with Gary O'Neill.
They have.
Very, very well with Gary O'Neill. But does that mean just because it's Bournemouth and we're Tottenham, we go there and win?
We should do.
No, we should do, but this is the Premier League. You got to remember, this ain't. There's now like 6 or 7 teams. We used to be the top 4 with Chelsea, the Filth, Man U, and Liverpool. It's now like a top 6, top 7.
Yeah,
that's what.
Everyone's losing points. It's very early on in the season. It's not time for crisis. You know what I mean?
Ben, put it this way: if Newcastle carry on the way they're going, and the World Cup comes, and let's say they were in touching distance of the top 4, do you think Newcastle will go? Okay, there you go. So now we're out of it. I take it, yeah.
No, we're third.
Okay, cool. Thank God that stopped a huge one. Thank you. Thank God I confirmed with you before I just went rah, and then you go, right, we're still there. But if Newcastle are in the top 4, do we not think that they are going to go, right? What do you need? What do you need? How can we support you? What do we get? We just don't do this. Like we saw, like you spoke about, Ben, and I spoke about this with you privately, and then you mentioned it with Sim one day about that we're already planning for next summer, and we may only dive into the transfer market if top 4 is under threat. Again, a position of weakness, not a position of strength.
Yeah.
That's what we do. That's what we do at this football club. And us saying, okay, yeah, we're still third, this is good. If we had got those points against West Ham that we should have got, if we had got the points and turned up against Newcastle, if we had got the points or given an account of ourselves at the Filth, we'd be cementing our position within that top 4, not hanging on because we've had our best start in the Premier League. It's go on.
Brian, we had a conversation a week or 2 ago. You said you think Spurs will make the top 4.
Yep, I do.
Do you still think
that? Now, oh, Ben, do you know what? I didn't think Newcastle would be coming on this strong. The Conte effect makes me believe I will. The squad right now, no, I don't. And that's the sad thing. The fact that we have Conte makes me believe that he will get the job done.
Is that what two games do to you? Because teams are going to win and lose all season. You know, Arsenal have still got a dodgy patch to come through. They just drew with Southampton. If we went away and drew with Southampton, everyone would be coming on here and going nuclear again. So, I mean, teams are going to drop points throughout the whole season. There's 27 games left to go.
Yeah, but Ben, again, what we're talking about now, yes, there's 27 games to go. I'm with you on that. But what will happen? Yeah, well, that's true. Actually, no, there's 10 games.
It's not
left.
waffle, is it?
But no, what I'm saying is that when you look at Arsenal that are doing it and the Filth, and they've just got a point. Every time they've dropped points, they've gone and backed it up, and they've gone and done whatever they're doing at the moment. With us at the moment, the Filth.
Yeah.
They've dropped points all right, Leeds was their last game, but they went and won and qualified for the Europa League next stage, whatever. But they're still not losing. They are putting performances in for the 90 minutes, whether they're hanging on like they did against Leeds, whatever. For like Nick said, a bit of it has got to do with the style of play. And let's face it, we have to accept this as style of play. It doesn't matter how many times we argue or say this isn't good football, it's boring. This is what we have coming at the moment. And like I said, if boring equals top 4 and boring equals trophies, then I'm taking it. Taking it, unfortunately, because I've had too much of wonderful football by Spurs, but nothing at the end to show for it. But it's like I said, it's just the mentality of these players. just like you look at when you say it's just 2 games, Ben. Look at the mentality over the last 180 minutes.
Yeah, it's been shocking. It has been shocking.
Again,
I'm not
like
going
I
to
said
lie.
to you at Old Trafford. At Old Trafford, you could have picked 11. I could have picked 11 people out of the crowd that would have gone and give more heart, more passion, more desire. After this performance, I mean, we weren't listening to the commentary on the watch long, but apparently the boos at half time were deafening.
Yeah.
And here we go again. We the mentality and style of play and just the lack of we all, like we said before, if we go off that pitch and we've given our all and we've lost the game, you hold your hands up. It's sport. This happens in every sport. Sometimes a team doesn't win even though they were the better team, or they gave everything but couldn't get the job done. I accept that. I accept that. But the lack of mentality, of passion, and let's just wait, and I'll predict it now. Tomorrow morning, we'll all wake up to Spurs Twitter. We go again. We learn from this. Bigger, better. We come back bigger, better, strong. Some kind of pathetic words with no accountability, no empathy, still no apology to fans for these kind of performances. Don't get me wrong, it's not in their contract to do so, but they're quick to come out when we're winning, but they hide behind their closed lives when we're losing because they want to stay out the firing line. It's not acceptable. It's not acceptable, and I know what the root of the problem is. A load of people know what the root of the problem is. I think people don't want to admit, but they do know what the root of the problem is. This will continue whilst these owners are in charge of this football club. I don't care about commercial growth anymore. I don't care about skywalks. I don't care about 2 pitches, one of them that are fucked already. I don't care about the longest goal line bar. I don't care that the beers come from the bottom. I don't care that we have a multiple amount of foods. I care what goes on that football pitch and who represents this great football club. And right now I am pissed. I am really pissed. Because once again, Conte will come under slack. The players will come under slack. The person that employs these people is Daniel fucking Levy, and this keeps happening. Point the finger where it needs to be blamed right now. And it's this man once again. And I'm so happy I'm coming back to London. Not happy about the circumstances, but boy, am I going to start making some noise. Boy, am I going to start doing what I need to do again. Because enough. Well, I don't care for anyone that's in this chat right now or rewatched it. I don't care if it's just me outside that training ground, or me outside Hotspur Way, or me outside the fucking stadium. I'm so tempted to buy some Dulux paint, go to the stadium and write Levy out, sponsored by Dulux on the stadium, because we'll sign these little crappy sponsorship deals. I'm sick and tired of it. The finger of blame needs to be pointed, and people that know it need to start doing it, and people need to wake up to know that this is going to continue as long as this man is in charge of this football club.
All right, Brian. Big up yourself, mate. Thanks for coming on today.
And as always, Levy out.